There was another safety question that came up, sort of related. Mitchell from Chelsea, Mass. writes, "I love having controls on my steering wheel, which the sync controls are, so I don't have to look away. Years ago, I remember my speedometer was illuminated in the windshield. Will that sort of heads-up display technology ever be making a reappearance?"
We've looked at that. We've researched it. We've had it before. It probably doesn't come in the top half of customer features. Michelle probably knows better than I do in terms of value for money. And so therefore, we've introduced some other features that were ranked a little ahead of it. What are your thoughts, Michelle?
Yeah, it doesn't resonate with enough consumers to make it a feature that we would really focus on. We're really focusing on technologies that have widespread demand and benefit.
Michelle, what's the marketing fee? I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of good marketing feedback, judging from the press we've seen. But what kind of marketing feedback have you gotten in terms of, if it's an effort to reach out to sort of younger, more technology savvy consumers to get them into Ford products? Have you seen benefits of that from a marketing standpoint?
The benefit in offering sync is actually very broad-based. It attracts a lot of consumers. I think something like 95% of all consumers have a cell phone. So anyone with a cell phone, once they understand how sync operates, really are attracted by the feature. And so it has widespread benefit. Certainly some of the more advanced features that we've discussed during the broadcast in terms of Bluetooth streaming of internet radio, et cetera, those kinds of features definitely resonate more with young people than older people.
And I guess as we mentioned older people who or people who might be a little less tech savvy. It's great to have a ton of technology in the car, but what's kind of being done to sort of help folks figure out how to use it? It can be a little intimidating sometimes.
Yeah, and we're working on that. Obviously, we're working very closely with our dealers during the delivery process to make sure that consumers have their phones paired and understand some of the basic elements of operation before they leave the dealership. We've also just launched a sync technology site within both the Lincoln Mercury and the Ford vehicle sites that provides videos on all the different features and demonstrations on how they work. So we recognize that there's an incremental communication challenge when you're dealing with technologies like this, and there is a lot of really great information out there in our web community for consumers to go to and learn more about the feature and how it works.
And one thing I feel like we're actually 25. We only have about 5 minutes left now, but we haven't really talked about anything outside the car. What are you seeing as far? I mean, you went through sort of the list of some of the features that are being offered on Ford and Lincoln Mercury products, but in terms of kind of what's out there now, what's next on the sort of exterior safety technology, what are you seeing the biggest sort of impact from, or the biggest response from consumers on?
Well, I mean, in terms of safety technology, the blind spot information system with cross-traffic alert is a feature that is, if you've driven a vehicle with it, you quickly would decide you can't live without it. It really enables much safer driving on crowded freeways because you're very alert if there's someone in your blind spot at all times with a light within your side mirrors. Additionally, if you live in a metropolitan area where you have to back out of parking spaces or driveways on busy streets, the cross-traffic alert notifies you if someone is in that space and it's not safe to continue to back up into the street. And I think that particular feature is definitely something that is innovative, unique, and very beneficial to the driver and improves safety.
Getting back, we'll get back into the car a little bit. One question we got sent over was a question about sort of how to get some of these things started. That used to be sort of like a 4 or 5 step process. You'd have to like get your phone cooperating with the car, but the Bluetooth really kind of took care of that as far as being able to get the sync system working. You get in the car and your Bluetooth pairs up and you're kind of ready to go.
Pairing is a process that's explained obviously in all our literature. We also have a pairing video online because we recognize that some consumers still, because they haven't done it enough times, aren't experienced with pairing, and the first time is sort of intimidating. We're also working with our dealers to make sure the phone leaves the dealership paired. But you're correct, as more and more consumers pair their phone to more and more devices, they get more comfortable with the process.
Great. And actually, as we're heading towards the end of this half hour, kind of want to ask you both, so try to give us a little bit of a hint, without giving too much away, as to what's coming up next. What are the next kinds of things that you're working on for Ford and Lincoln Mercury that consumers can look forward to? I'll let you try to dance around how you can give away some without giving away too much.
So with our traffic directions and information, what's really happening is we're connecting to the internet cloud through your phone. And once we've done that, we can pass data back and forth from the phone to the internet cloud very affordably, by the way. Kind of the world's our oyster. If you imagine, the search sites that people go to these days, all the traffic on the Google, MapQuest, MSN, Yahoo, social networking sites, local search, local events. We think it's a huge advantage to be connected to that cloud while you're in your car, and particularly for the younger buyers who want to be connected. Our aim is to provide Ford with an advantage so that people will come into Ford, Lincoln Mercury dealerships and take advantage of it. I mean, when people are cruising around, a lot of the metro areas, and they want to find the coolest place where their jazz band's playing, or where their local favorites are, or get involved in social networking and know where their friends are, that's all stuff that you've got to be connected in order to take advantage of. And a lot of our competitors are offering this level of connectivity in their luxury cars only, and we're providing it across the board and very affordably. We've also talked about the latest trend, obviously, in consumer electronics is applications that reside on phones. It's not a trend, really. It's a tsunami. I think the Apple Store now has over 1 billion downloads of applications downloaded to phones, and we know that's where the sweet spot is. That's what people's lifestyles look like these days. They're downloading applications. I know I've got a couple of kids. But anyway, if we can kind of offer connectivity like we have had with devices to those applications that reside on people's phones, and again, we don't have to change their lifestyle. We provide the car as another node in their connected lives. We think that'll provide an advantage for Ford. We're hard at that. We're working really diligently to bring those services to you guys first and be first to market, and I think it's a great opportunity for us.
All right. Well, great. We're going to actually have to leave it there because we're getting close to 1 o'clock. I want to thank you both, Michelle Moody, Doug VanDagens from Ford and Lincoln Mercury, for being a part of this conversation. Thanks to the New England Lincoln Mercury Dealers Association for making it possible. And we hope to see folks back here again for Ask the Experts. You can catch all of our Ask the Experts webcasts on NECN.com. Just go to NECN.com/Ask the Experts. I'm Ted McEnroe. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks.